Alexander Pope would appear to have been in love with each of the sisters Martha and Teresa Blount at different times. And this is a poem addressed to Martha Blount, who had been taken off by her family to the country, and therefore Pope is deprived of her companionship. This is his complaint, called An Epistle to Miss Blount on her leaving the town after the coronation. And there are a couple of things to say about the words in the poem. Bohea is a kind of China tea, and in fact in Pope's time, bohea and tea, which form a rhyme in this poem, would both have been pronounced bohea and day, but I'm going to stick to contemporary pronunciation. Also, he mentions Gay, John Gay, the poet. Anyway, without more ado, here is the epistle to Miss Blount on her leaving the town after the coronation. As some fond virgin whom her mother's care drags from the town to wholesome country air, just when she learns to roll a melting eye, and hear a spark, yet think no danger nigh. From the dear man unwillingly she must sever, yet takes one kiss before she parts for ever. Thus from the world fair Zephalinda flew, saw others happy, and with sighs withdrew. Not that their pleasures caused her discontent, she sighed not that they stayed, but that she went. She went to plain work and to purling brooks, old-fashioned halls, dull aunts and croaking rooks. She went from opera, park, assembly, play, to morning walks and prayers 3 hours a day, to pass her time twixt reading and bohea, to muse and spill her solitary tea, or o'er cold coffee trifle with the spoon, count the slow clock, and dine exact at noon. Divert her eyes with pictures in the fire, hum half a tune, tell stories to the squire. Up to her godly garret after 7, there starve and pray, for that's the way to heaven. Some squire perhaps you take a delight to rack, whose game is whisk, whose treat a toast in sack, who visits with a gun, presents you birds, then gives a smacking buss and cries, "No words!" Or with his hound comes hollowing from the stable, makes love with nods and knees beneath a table, whose laughs are hearty, though his jests are coarse, and loves you best of all things but his horse. In some fair evening on your elbow laid, your dream of triumphs in the rural shade. In pensive thought recall the fancied scene, see coronations rise on every green. Before you pass the imaginary sights of lords and earls and dukes and gartered knights, while the spread fan o'ershades your closing eyes, then give one flirt, and all the vision flies. Thus vanish sceptres, coronets, and balls, and leave you in lone woods or empty walls. So, when your slave, at some dear idle time, not plagued with headaches or the want of rhyme, stands in the streets, abstracted from the crew, and while he seems to study, thinks of you, just when his fancy points your sprightly eyes, or sees the blush of soft Parthenia rise, Gay pats my shoulder, and you vanish quite. Streets, chairs, and coxcombs rush upon my sight. Vexed to be still in town, I knit my brow, look sour, and hum a tune, as you may now.